Hi, this is Jason Kennedy from Slanderous, and you're experiencing Poppitt's Corner.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Poppitt's Corner, where you're broadcasting live out of the San Diego Metal Swap Meet here. And of course, I got the newest edition, the edition that should have been here years prior. But I got my main man, Mr. Tony Koehl here. Tony, pleasure to see you again.
Thank you so much. This is my first year. It's because of Tanner. I was able to be a part of this, and I'm super grateful. And I never realized that this thing was going on for so long, and from my own ignorance. But now I know about this, and so hopefully I can make this an annual thing, because this is really cool. I didn't realize that metal's really heavy and rich down here in San Diego. And also good to see you
good
as
to see
well.
You, brother.
Always good.
Tony's doing a live piece at his booth right now, so
Yeah.
I was over there checking it all out. He's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff. You'll have to take a walk by.
I got T-shirts. We got prints. We got CDs. I got some leather stuff that I've made, from bags, from bracers to some BDSM stuff. If you're into the naughty, I got you, baby. But all sorts of things. I'm doing a few paintings. I think I'm doing like 6 little mini ones to make them affordable when people walk by. It's not gouging out the pockets, but I want to have at least people an opportunity to own an original.
Now, let me ask you something here, because we were talking off the air about this whole event here, and I'm generally curious. Do you see differences with this specific event compared to others that you have done artwork for? Is there something different that the San Diego Metal Swap Meet kind of offers more so?
The vendors. It offers. There's way more vendors here than there are at a metal festival. Like a metal festival, you might have 10 per se. More or less, depends. But this is like a legit swap meet. This is not like it's a festival, and it's great. I didn't know live bands played here as well. Like that was. I thought with metal swap meet, it's all themed metal stuff, from T-shirts and CDs and patches and things we've seen. What you expect to see at a metal festival or a metal swap meet.
Yeah.
But I love the added bonus of live great bands, and you have a lot of important players here contributing, keeping the metal scene alive, especially after the pandemic. You've kind of felt, for me anyways, being isolated for so long and not being a part of the scene. Like, am I remembered anymore? Or do I still matter? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I must, because bands keep hiring me. So I'm stoked on that.
Well, I kind of feel like that here, though, too. It's like,
Yeah.
Does anybody even care? And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, no, a lot of people
A lot of people care, yeah. And once again, you got to remember they're metalheads, and most of the time, a lot of people, it's hard for them to express gratitude and appreciation at times. Maybe
I don't think you have the variety of what you have in LA or Orange County, though, as compared to what they have down here, though. This is like everything. Here.
I've worked with a few bands. Gortuary, I know they're from down here. Or they used to be. Sadly they broke up. Worked with those guys.
But I think the overall vibe, not to cut you off, but I think the overall vibe here is completely different than LA. It just seems more inclusive and more, I guess, for me it seems more fun.
Yeah,
I always like San Diego compared to LA.
It's this is really cool. Like I say, I don't think I've never been to a place in LA that had something like this, so I can't even really compare. I've been to swap meets in Los Angeles, but I've never been to a metal swap meet. This is the only time I've ever been to a metal swap meet. And I'm once again, I'm grateful that they have it in San Diego, because one, I just love to come down to San Diego, and two, there's a really heavy metal, or not heavy metal, but like a heavy metal scene here.
Yeah.
A lot of great bands come out of here. So, it's cool, man. And I'm once again grateful for the weather. I thought it was going to be really hot. And I'm like, I didn't bring my fan. I brought water, but there's a couple other things I would have brought, but we didn't even have power. Glad you got power coming through.
It was toasty last time we were here.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. The last podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, once again, we haven't been so busy at the booth. I even have an opportunity to walk around and see all the stuff. But, I see some familiar faces, so it's cool. And, it's good to see JP from Morbid Enterprise Clothing. We got Bruce from Warlord down there, which is really cool. I haven't seen him in a while. It'd be good to say what's up. A lot of us started, with Dan Dismal, at the Knitting Factory. He used to have the Murder Fest, and that's for me, from my experience, I feel like that helped, bring a lot of people that worked into metal together, or at least be able to recognize each other when you pop up somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Recognize each other's hustle. It's important.
Again, I think this place for me encompasses everything that I love, specifically about this community that I wish more events had. Because you have people like us that contribute way more than just playing in bands. We have, you offer art.
Yeah.
I offer a different kind of art, which is obviously the radio thing.
Yeah.
And then you got T-shirt guys. You got guys that make patches.
Yeah.
CD vendors, vinyl.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of things that go into this genre that I don't think a lot of people realize.
Yeah.
And this kind of showcases every aspect for me personally.
Yeah, no, and like I said, I think it's, and once again, it's important that you're here, you're interviewing the people, part of the community. And like when I do festivals, I always make posters of the artwork of the festivals I do, and then I have everybody sign it when they come to my booth. But it doesn't matter who it is. It could be the promoter, it could be the janitor. I don't care. It's all a community. It's that's the idea, and it's been very sweet. I know I said this before, but like when I've been watching people sign on the posters, they're very careful not to sign over other people's signatures, and that's like all around. Like I've been to Sweden and did live art down. I've been all around the United States to do live art and do this, and majority, especially in metal, and a majority of people, they'll ask, like, "I know where to really sign." I'm like, "Well, you can sign over everybody now at this point if you can't find a spot." But that's the idea, man. It's just to remind everybody that we're all a part of this together.
Yeah.
It's not you're on Team A and you're on Team B or Team C. It's all together. Like it's just ridiculous that there's so many tight cliques that don't let each other play together well. Egos need to be pushed aside.
I think the one word for me, besides community here, that this represents is hope. Hope.
Yeah.
That all of us, no matter what side of the aisle we do, we believe in politically or religiously or whatever the fuck it is, we're all here for the same kind of reason, and that's the music.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it gives me hope that there's a general consensus of what we all love.
And also like about this too, just to note, is that you can bring your kids and you can bring your families. And we've talked about this before. It's really hard. You go to festivals and stuff, and they only have it 21 and over or 18 and over. It's like, yeah, man. But when I was 15, 16, this is the time I wanted to blow all my money. Like, not when I'm 25, 26,
Yeah.
It's when I'm 15, 16. I don't got real responsibilities. I don't got a family, nothing. But I've been saving up for like the whole year to blow like $300 on like all my favorite bands and merch and stuff.
The other thing too is obviously there are bands that do play here, but it's not all day. It's not like a festival. So
right.
You can actually meet and talk with bands that don't play here, that were actually here doing other things, and you can meet your favorite kind of local bands or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there's a lot of variety here.
There is.
In terms of bands.
Yeah, and I love it that it encompasses metal, like whatever the genre of metal. So you can be black metal, you can be like power metal, you can be grindcore, death metal, thrash, whatever encompasses metal. It's all here, and that's fun. It's really cool to see. We love thrash. How much you and I we talk about how much we love thrash, and I'm loving how that's coming back. Once again, the battle vests. I love just seeing so much of the art, and for a person that loves to do the art as well, I love to see all the different varieties of the artwork on T-shirts, because it's like a gallery. You're just walking around looking at all this like dark art. Like you don't get to see this very often. And if you can find a real cool piece with one of your favorite bands, like, hey, there's a double bonus, and it just helps me once again, because this is something I do and try to help other bands, and I look at some of their work. I'm like, oh, I like this band. They might need a little extra help on their T-shirt design. Like not knocking the artist or graphic designer they use, but you're like, oh, here's an opportunity for me to, maybe to fill in for the next. Everybody needs another T-shirt design.
Yeah.
It's I think it's also important to, reach out as much as you can. And if you're here, and there's any future artists that want to be, participant in the metal scene, set yourself up a booth, man. Show your artwork. Look around. See, there's a lot of bands. There's a lot of stores. You can do artwork for stores. If you're an artist, man, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get your artwork out there. Everybody needs it more so than ever now. I feel,
I always I always want to see people when they're either walking out or they're walking around is just having a bag full of stuff they've already bought. You know what I mean? Like they're spending their money and they're buying stuff in here.
Oh yeah, I was there's somebody who bought some CDs off of me and they already had a bag full. I'm like, dang, you just got here, buddy. He's like, yeah, I got 3 more bags. I'm like, I love you. Like, good on you, man. Like, it's because it's so important because, most of it is you're just like, well, you're going to buy it online. But, like, I'd much rather have it here. It's tangible.
Right.
Right. And then I was happy to be able to sell some CDs. I'm like, I haven't sold CDs in a long time.
Right.
I kind of just bring them out there just to show people, like, I did the artwork for it. They'll pick up, oh, that's cool, but they're not going to buy it. But no, people come through like, oh, I like this band. I'm like, oh, yeah, I did the cover. Oh, you did the cover? I'm like, yeah. So it's been fun. So far, it's been a really good time.
I love it, man. I love that we're all here just hanging out, shooting the shit, talking about metal.
Yeah, and then just, re-dipping into our community that, like you and I have talked about many times, we don't feel like we have it. Unless you go to a show, but then when you go to a show, you're really busy setting up. You can't really hang out too much.
Can't hear.
You definitely can't hear. So this is really cool that you get to bump into some of your buddies, maybe some clients I've worked with or whatever, or some bands I'm a fan of, and you have an opportunity to bump into them and, like I say, have a conversation when it's not yelling over each other.
Yeah.
Or spitting drinks in each other's faces. Like, okay, you're too close.
Now, when I interviewed, I'm going to pull an Eddie Trunk here. When I interviewed the creators of the San Diego Metal Swap Meet, they were telling me what they wanted to do more of here is kind of like almost like a panel discussion. I'm like, that's a fucking great idea.
They should, absolutely.
Because it makes a lot of sense. It's like you get to that specific artist, if you're a fan of it, of them or whatever, their work, you can ask them questions, and it's like not in a, it's not in like a space where bands are just playing all around, So, and I just think that's really important and cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of like NAMM, except anybody can go to it.
Sure. Yeah, right. Absolutely.
It's
it's exclusive.
Yeah, we're talking about putting some of the, whether it's musicians, artists, whomever, up on the stage and then have maybe passing a mic and just asking them.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Stuff.
Yeah, do it for like a half an hour to an hour, see how it goes if people want to be, because, once again, it's just about getting people to participate, interact.
I think part of the thing is maybe people do want to go up and approach or talk to people, but they're hesitant to do that. But if they had that kind of a setup, maybe they would ask a question they've always wanted to ask somebody, whether it's about a song, a record,
gear,
whatever. A show.
Right. Touring, what you think in general.
And I think that artists like to share stuff like that.
We all do. Yeah, we work hard at it.
Yeah.
We might as well, if some
story.
And also if like a complete stranger's authentically interested in what you've done and wants the specific answer, it might make you like, oh, no one ever asked me that question. Give me a second to think about it. Like, this is a really good question.
That's a good feeling, too.
You stumped me. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
I've had a few people do that to me in the past. Like, oh, wait, I don't know. Yeah. But, I say yes. Once again, it's up to us, all of us, to push it as far as we want to see it being pushed. Yeah, truly.
And this is a great opportunity for the next generation to get into some bands that, again, because there's not all ages venues a lot anymore, this is a great opportunity for the next generation to come and learn and know your specific local community if you're into this style of music.
Yeah.
Super important just for the growth of the scene.
And now here's a question. Now, is there any studios, like recording studios, setting up a booth here, or is there any like local music shop here, or is there anything like that with the music aspect, from instruments, from cables, from recording?
I don't believe you'd have to hire probably people just to watch that specific place, because the people,
the reason why I ask is there's times where you go and then there's like a drum company that will have like a kit that you can just use their kit or whatever, and they'll have like live streams to show like got all these badasses on their kits. Or guitars and stuff like that. I'm not saying a bunch of guitars, but just like have a couple of them. Say, hey, we're a new company. This is, we're our guitars are specifically for heavier tones or whatever it is.
That's a niche, almost just like how we recommended Tony that's something that who knows if the promoters. I don't recall that being here the last
Okay.
time we were here.
Okay.
But I think it's something that if there's a
Like
local place that would do that.
There's a guy I know that works on. He makes metal guitar pedals specifically for like heavy droney, like doom, death, whatever, anything on the heavy side. But he lives like in back east somewhere. But I was like, I was wondering if there's somebody maybe local, just because that's like another facet of the metal scene. It's not just selling the merch. It's like, hey man, like here's the instruments to keep making this style of music.
Well, I love the idea. Plus, your audience is are musicians here, so
right. Like if somebody came just with like pedals, or drumsticks, like these are specific for playing at 300 BPMs. I'm like, I don't personally play it that, but that's cool that they're available.
Well, and see, I mean, we do have NAMM and whatnot, which is, I guess, primarily, it's for that kind of stuff. That's my only issue with what you're saying. I love what you're saying, but the only thing is we already have NAMM for that. So that's why I would.
But NAMM's for like musicians.
I think that's more corporate.
Yeah, it's for musicians. This is for metalheads. Like I'm just saying, is there specific companies that just cater to metalheads? I don't know. I'm just asking it through my own ignorance. But I'm like, well, if there's a local shop that's like less than 20 miles away. Like once again, majority of everybody here are musicians.
Well, how about food places too? There are, but I'm saying how come there aren't more food places dedicated to metal that are here as well?
Yeah, like a Gorilla Mall.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they had like a van
the
here
truck
or the truck or something.
Yeah.
Or a little booth. And once again, these are all just great thoughts, and maybe somebody will see this and it might. Hey, I know someone that can fit that. We know the things, and that's all we're doing. We're just throwing out ideas.
Yeah.
And, you don't know, like the old internet, and it's a hive mind, and so they might be able to, give us the answers that we're looking for.
Yeah.
But we're here. I'm stoked on that. And how long has this been going on?
10 years, I think.
What
2000.
did the guy say? Yeah, I want to say
2010, I think, or something like
so
that.
almost 20 or almost 13 years now.
Somewhere around that. Yeah.
That was really good. I was talking to JP from Morbid Enterprise, and he actually silk screens my shirts as well, you guys. So any bands need work, he's amazing. But anyway, I was speaking with him. He's like, I think he mentions like his 12th time here or something like that. I was like, man, that's incredible. Like,
yeah, this place has really grown from where.
And I like how it's kind of off the beaten path. I like how there's, like you said, there's like a loop or whatever, or there was. But this is a cool little spot. It's not going to really bother anybody. It's outdoors. Listen to metal outdoors is fun. It's very rare to be able to get that. And it's a great sound system, and it's nice sage, and this is really proper how they have it.
Have you had to kind of cater differently to this event compared to others, or is it the same?
I get to bloom at this one. People recognize my work. That's what's cool about it. Like when I do say Transformer festivals or EDM festivals, and say BDSM or like Gothic events, like they don't know like the album covers or my art. They're more they like the art, but they don't know the bands. And people coming up like, dude, you did the artwork for this band? I'm like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh, you're that guy? I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy.
I love that.
Yeah, I only get that at metal shows. I don't get that really anywhere, unless it's like a metalhead, coming to an event and out of the blue, you're like, you're that guy? I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy.
Well, Tony, I want to thank you for spending a couple minutes with us.
Thank you, brother. I get back to my booth. Bless Imara for holding it down
I know.
for me.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Exactly. But lastly, thank you again for the opportunity in coming on the show, talking shop with us. Now, where can people find you outside of the San Diego Metal Swap?
You can go to my website, Sketch the Soul, or you can just type in my name, Tony Koehl, TonyKoehl.com, or you can Google it, and I'm on everything, all social media and stuff like that. And man, thank you guys for doing what you're doing. Such a pleasure, and thank you once again for connecting me to this. I look forward to building with you guys next year. Well, I have ideas now.
I appreciate.
I have ideas for sure.
Long overdue.
Long overdue.
And thanks again for what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate both of you guys. And thanks for everybody out there that even cares of what we're talking about.
And for another episode of Poppitt's Corner, guys, we're out of here. Cheers.